still me, David, from One Up Gaming, episode 353 of the One Up Gaming podcast. We're going to quickly go through some of the news for this week. Nothing's in order, I'm just going to quickly wrap through it. So first of all, Nintendo says Dolphin emulator on Steam harms development and ultimately stifles innovation. I think that's a load of bollocks. I really do. I think that's stupid. It's games and series that Nintendo have had that they've not made sequels for coming up 20-30 years now. Speaking to Kotaku, Nintendo spokesperson said Dolphin emulator uses illegal practices to grant access to the older Nintendo games. Nintendo is committed to protecting the hard work and creativity of video game engineers and developers, the spokesperson said. This emulator illegally circumvents Nintendo's protection measures and runs illegal copies of games. Using illegal emulators or illegal copies of games harms development and ultimately stifles innovation. Nintendo respects the intellectual property rights of other companies and in turn expects others to do the same. So basically, the Dolphin emulator was going to be on Steam, and then Nintendo found out that it used the startup sequence for the GameCube or the Wii or something, and they've said that since that's on there, you can't use it. The Xbox boss Phil Spencer believes in the practice as a preservation tool. For example, saying he hopes that one day anybody should be able to buy any game, which I agree with. I think anybody should be able to buy any game they want. But it's also, where do you draw the line? You know, it's that bit of a grey area, isn't it? A little bit of grey area. And, you know, where do you guys think? Were you excited for Dolphin to be on Steam? Or were you not really that bothered? Me, myself, I wasn't that bothered. I've never really been a Nintendo fan. I've never played many Nintendo games thoroughly. And, I mean, I've had the GameCube, I've had the Nintendo Wii. But for some reason, I bought all the third-party games. And I never really touched much of the Nintendo first-party stuff. But anyway, we'll move on to the next bit of news. Sega announces summer showcase from Yakuza developer OUG Studio. So this will take place on June 15th. Revealed in a tweet, the showcase from Yakuza developer Gotaku Studio will be available to stream at 8 PM. I don't know what's going on. 4 AM UK time. Bloody hell. They're not like the UK, do they? Sega's yet to reveal how fans can watch along, but as well as was the case last year, it's likely to be streamed on its official Twitch channel. The publisher didn't share any information on what fans can expect, although RGG Studio primarily focuses on the Yakuza franchise, which has been rebranded as Like a Dragon in the West, and it's likely we'll get an update there. Last year's event saw the full reveal of Like a Dragon 8, which confirmed the return of Kazuma Kaoru, alongside an early 2024 release window. Not shy about sharing major updates at the RGG Summit, the developer also announced Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, as a spin-off coming in 2023. Details otherwise sparse, blah blah blah. What do you guys think of this? Do you think they're going to have some decent games shown, or do you think it's just going to have a bit of detail on that one game? I don't know. I hope Sega can get back on. I really do miss a good Sega Rally game. I really do miss those classic arcadey sort of games. But anyway, next up, Madden NFL movie in development, with Will Ferrell as Madden and David O. Russell directing. So let's see who David O. Russell is. Reached out to Amazon, which is apparently distributing this movie with MGM for comment. Ferrell is reportedly circling the role of Madden himself as he transitions from sports commentator to runaway video game success story. More specifically, it will recount how Madden helped create Electronic Arts' Madden NFL series, which has since become the world's most profitable video game franchise. As of 2013, the Madden NFL franchise has grossed over $4 billion in sales per a 2015 report. Madden, who passed away in December 2021, served as a consultant for the series. Ferrell, a four-time Emmy winner, best known for his stint on Saturday Night Live, as well as his roles in various comedy films, is hot off the Apple TV projects Spirited and The Shrink Next Door, who will next appear as a Mattel CEO in Greta Gerwig's Margot Robbie-led Barbie movie. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of a Madden NFL sort of story? It sounds weird. It really does sound a little bit weird to me. I thought it was going to be like the life story of Madden, not actually the games sort of specifically, but it looks as though it's going to focus on the games and development of the games, and that's pretty cool. So, The Last of Us multiplayer reportedly facing setbacks as Naughty Dog announces delay. As reported by Bloomberg, the quality and long-term viability of the much-anticipated The Last of Us multiplayer game has seemingly come into question. As a result, sources have claimed a small group remain on the project while the company re-evaluates the direction. Bloomberg notes that the game has not been cancelled at this time, but many of the developers that were working on the project have been moved to others within the company. Following Bloomberg's request for comment, Naughty Dog released a statement you can read below, blah 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 blah. Yeah, Last of Us fans, blah blah blah. I don't know. Has anything of this game been shown off? Has anyone known much about this? I've heard about it, but I've not really seen that much about it. I'm not that bothered. You know, I liked The Last of Us as a single player focused straight down the middle story. I thought that it worked well as that. I might be wrong, but what do you guys think? Leave comments. So, next up, Jon Snow, no determination on whether Game of Thrones spin-off will happen. While many fans are excited to hear that Jon Snow would be starring in a Game of Thrones spin-off sequel series, HBO's head of drama has cautioned there is no guarantee the show will ever make it to the finish line. Speaking to Deadline, Ozzy, I have no idea, was asked about the show that would see Kit Harington return to his iconic Game of Thrones role, and she said that it's still at very early stages and there's a lot left to be done to bring it to life. We're just working deep with the writers to get in shape for potential green light, but at this point, no determination on whether it can go all the way, she said. I don't know. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Whenever I see the name Jon Snow, I just think of either a newsreader or politician, whatever he was in the UK, and I get a bit freaked out when I'm seeing all these stories about Jon Snow, and it's just weird. But I guess, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want more Game of Thrones? We'll go to the next bit of story, and that is Lord of the Rings Gollum, developer working on another secret Lord of the Rings game, codenamed It's Magic. The first game wasn't, was it? The studio behind the long-delayed and poorly reviewed Lord of the Rings Gollum that came out yesterday appears to be working on another Lord of the Rings game, one that potentially features the franchise's iconic wizards. According to the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Action of Germany website, translated by IGN, Daedalic is working on another 3D action-adventure game set within the Lord of the Rings universe that will transport the player into a lush world full of mythical creatures and magic. The project is codenamed It's Magic. Pointed out the received roughly 2 million in funding from the German government after beginning Gollum, meaning this funding most likely went to It's Magic. The funding is for a project taking place between June 1st and August 2024. It tells a story perspective of a character hasn't been told before. The player discovers completely new regions, influences the world, blah 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 blah. Yeah. do you trust the developers to make a game after the first one was an absolute disaster of a train wreck of a shit show? Because I'm thinking, I don't think they actually know what they're doing. I really don't. It's quite funny. I still think the game looked crap. It sounded rubbish. But anyway, next up. Alan Wake 2 might get a physical release after all, at least on PC. A physical release of Alan Wake 2 might be possible after all, as THQ Nordic has teased its interest in publishing a hard copy of what was a digital-only sequel. THQ Nordic published the first Alan Wake game on PC and released a physical disc. I mean, we did the disc version of Alan Wake for PC back in the day. They said on Twitter, and just because one person or company does not love physical, there is plenty who still do. Give it some thought. We'd love to go at it again, full circle and all. While this is far from confirmation, THQ's Nordic proposal gives a glimmer of hope for those wanting to get a physical copy of Animal Wake. Early this week, Remedy Entertainment revealed the sequel would be a digital-only release across all platforms in order to maintain costs. As a result, the game remains $60 on console and $50 on PC instead of $70 like many other publishers are charging. Alan Wake 2 was shown at May 2023's PlayStation Showcase and features a second playable character. It launches on October 17, 2023, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. What do you guys think? Do you want a physical disc or do you not care? I, myself, don't really care. I download all my games onto the hard drive, onto the, the Xbox itself. And the other stuff that I play with my laptop, it's normally streaming games. So, yeah, I'm not really that bothered what happens with that or not. But I guess we'll see what they sort of say. So, next up. The European Commission says PlayStation sells 4 times more consoles than Xbox in Europe. A speech spotted by Eurogamer from European Commission Executive Vice President Margaret Vestager indicates that Sony's console is currently significantly outperforming Microsoft in the region, noting that both companies' presence here wasn't high enough to warrant concern. The overall market share for Microsoft and Activision was generally low in Europe. It's only when you look at specific segments like shooter games that you get above 20%. And for consoles, Sony sells about 4 times more PlayStation than Microsoft sells Xboxes. With this context, we did not think the merger raised a vital issue. A vertical issue? I don't know. It's worth noting that exact merits used to reach this 4-to-1 number are unclear, meaning it could even factor in every console ever released by Sony and Microsoft. That being said, it more likely refers to contemporary numbers, perhaps looking at sales over the last few years, or just of that of this generation. Yeah, what do you guys think about all this Xbox merger stuff? I just think they should have just have been okayed and agreed and moved on by now. It's taken a very long time. Like I say, we will go to the next bit of news story, and that one is Metal Gear Solid Master Collection includes the original Metal Gear 1, 2 and alongside Solid Trilogy. I don't know what that means. The PlayStation Store has revealed that Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 to include the original Metal Gear 1 and 2 alongside Solid Trilogy is previously announced. As reported by Eurogamer, the previously teased additional games coming to Master will be the 2 classic titles released for the MSX2. So, it's just Metal Gear. Yeah, the old 2D top-down view games, yes. Early this week, as a 3-in-1 package containing Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, though Konami teased that fans should stay tuned for more information regarding additional content. The PlayStation Store listing has let the cat out of the bag, however, saying the Volume 1 lineup features the original titles of the beginning of the Metal Gear series, including Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. This essentially makes the package a modern console version of the Metal Gear HD collection for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, although Konami will likely soon confirm the full extent of its content ahead of its launch this fall. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not that... It was alright. I just didn't like how the characters moved and stuff in the games. But anyway, well, leave comments. Tell me I'm an arsehole. Tell me I'm wrong. So we'll go to the next bit of news, and that is Alone in the Dark reboot arrives this October, and the demo is available now. THQ Nordic has announced that the Alone in the Dark reboot is launching October 25th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and the PC, and that free demo is available now. Users on these platforms can download a playable prologue of Alone in the Dark to experience what the full game will have to offer without receiving any spoilers from the main story. The standalone demo puts players in the shoes of 11-year-old Grace Saunders as she runs an errand that quickly goes wrong. The publisher also revealed that Stranger Things' David Harbour will star as one dual protagonist. Edward Carnby, while Killing Eve's Jodie Comer will play the other, Emily Hartwood. Players can choose to play through the story as either character, though THQ Nordic promises that each character will provide a different take on the same narrative. Explore the Sector Manor, no idea, in this reimagination of the Alone in the Dark, a love letter to the 90s cult horror game, reads the announcement. Still set in the Gothic American South in the 1920s, Alone in the Dark features a noir setting with classical Lovecraftian horror elements where the familiar meets the surreal. So, do you guys care about Alone in the Dark? I actually really like the Alone in the Dark. Is it Illumination? Or is it just Alone in the Dark? The one that the Eden Studios made with the fire tech and driving and weirdness and bugs everywhere. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a good little game. Last bit of news that we've got. After a breathe, a yawn. Last bit of news that we have is oh, bad news, but Alone. Homeworld 3 has been delayed till 2024. Developer Blackbird Interactive and publisher Gearbox have announced that Homeworld 3 has been delayed till February 2024. It was originally planned to launch during the first half of 2023. Our primary goal is to deliver a Homeworld experience that lives up to the standards set by its predecessors and is worthy of this series' incredible legacy, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that'll do for that one, won't it? It's just talking about games getting delayed and all that McGubbins.